Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times together. Today I'm here to talk to you about some new releases, specifically the ones of the month of June. I have a total of 11 books to talk about, and 10 of them are horror or thriller books, so it is looking good for fans, especially of thrillers, because there is a lot of them that sound interesting coming out in the month of June.
It's coffee time!
On the 2nd of June, right at the beginning, we get a new horror anthology. It's called Final Cuts, New Tales from Hollywood, and it is being edited by a very well expert on this genre, and that is Ellen Dudlow, who has been an acclaimed editor of these type of stories. And I believe we have 18 different tales from known authors, and I am excited about this one because all the stories are gonna have to do with kind of behind the scenes and the things that are the ones that make the movies that we enjoy. So, you know, horror short stories based on Hollywood movies, yes please. On the 2nd of June we have an adult mystery thriller that sounds really interesting, and it is called They Did Bad Things by Lauren A. Forey. And we have here 6 students that in 1995 they shared kind of like a flat, and at the end of the year they decided to throw like a big party, end of the year party, but one of the 6 students showed up after the party dead. This was considered an accident, but 20 years later the 5 original ones that had survived are all lured into a house, a kind of like a mansion in a Scottish island, and they are lured there under false pretenses, and when they get there they realize that they are not able to leave the house. They are completely incommunicated with the world of the outside. So we have a bunch of 40-year-olds that are trying to figure out how to get out of there and how to fight against the person that obviously put them together in that house for a reason. Also on the 2nd of June we have Category 5, and this is by Anne Davila Cardenal, and this is a YA horror mystery. This is the second book that I am interested in by this author. She released a book called 5 Midnights last year, and it kind of disappointed me a little bit, but I am willing to give her another chance with this one. We are following the effects of a kind of like a hurricane that happens in Puerto Rico, and the survivors after that, how they deal with it. But there are some deaths that are not really easy to explain. It seems that there's something supernatural going on there in the island where the hurricane happened. So there is a group of teenagers that go back to investigate. On the 9th of June we have The House of Whispers by Lara Purcell, and this is going to be kind of like a Victorian Gothic mystery adult book, and I like this one because it sounds so cool. It is kind of like a nearly abandoned looking house right at the sea, and there is this maid that is supposed to work there to take care of a mute woman, but there's also a lot of staff working in this mansion, in this kind of house, and they all look very suspicious. And apparently it also has to do with some unauthorized medical trials, and I am a sucker for those kind of stories, so I am really intrigued about this one. And I would like to talk about the book that is not horror or thriller, and that is a book coming on the 9th of June. It is the Falling in Love Montage by Sierra Smith, and this is a YA LGBT contemporary rom-com. And the reason why I picked this one is because it sounds kind of fun to me, and it's one of those books that I would like to read when you're just in the mood to read something cute to cheer you up, but that also has kind of, you know, It's a little bit hard-hitting, I think, at some points, because we're following the story of Sorsha, and she is taking care of her mother that has advanced dementia, and she has a lot on her plate, so she doesn't want to know anything about love or relationships until she meets this girl at a party. And so they decide to kind of use these loophole in order not to have a proper relationship. They just decide to spend the summer together and just touch every cliche in every romantic comedy and kind of bring up those scenes. And come fall, then they're supposed to just go their own ways. So this is a female romance that for me it's really interesting, because I think it's going to be a little bit hard-hitting, and also because I'm gonna love to see how they kind of recreate what they consider to be typical tropes of rom-coms. On the 16th of June, we have Touch the Night by Max Breuer III, and I think this is one of the ones that I'm most excited about. This is, as far as I've seen on Amazon, only gonna be available on ebook, like for your Kindle, but this is something that has been pitched Stranger Things meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was like, excuse me, what's that pitch again? Count me out for that one. Gonna have to get that one for me, thanks. And it is supposed to be kind of like a good mix of violence and corruption, and apparently there is this small town where weird things start to happen. Like there's this 12-year-old kids that one night they see that when they're doing mischievous things, there's a police car that is coming towards them, but they realize that the thing driving the car doesn't seem quite human. And also there's disappearances. I don't know, there's going to be like a lot of supernatural things going on. I think it's also going to include black magic, so hell yes for this one. The next one, and also on the 16th of June, is Devolution by Max Brooks, and this is a fantastic pitch of a story as well, because we are following basically the events after a volcano erupted and caused a big catastrophe and a lot of people perished. So between the things that were kind of retrieved from all of these bloody massacre, there is a manuscript. There are some notes of somebody that was kind of keeping an investigation of their own, and this book is also going to involve Bigfoot. So I am really excited about that, and I cannot wait to read this. On the 23rd of June, we have The Girl from Widow Hill by Megan Miranda, and this is an adult mystery thriller. This is the story of a little girl that started sleepwalking, and one night she just disappears, and the whole town starts looking for her for days, and suddenly, and against all odds, she's found again alive, and she doesn't know what happened to her. So the thing is, her mother then wrote a book about that, and then she started to get a lot of fans and letters and love from people and the media, and she just wanted to disappear. So when she grew a little bit older, she changed her name. She moved somewhere else and just tried to forget about it. But when 20 years passed after she was found, there is the anniversary of when the girl from Widow Hill was found, and so the media is really trying to find her. So she's kind of scared that she is going to be found by the media, and she starts to sleepwalk again, which, you know, might lead her to dark discoveries. On the 30th of June, we have Home Before Dark by Riley Sager, and I really do enjoy his adult mystery thrillers, so I'm excited to see what he did with this one, because we have a haunted house story here, which I love. Atmospheric haunted houses, yes please. So we have here a woman that basically 25 years ago, she spent a couple of weeks in a mansion with her father until they had to flee away from there, and then her father wrote a book called I think it's House of Horrors, something like that, and he tells like horrible stories and dark stuff that happened while they were in the house, and she doesn't remember these things, and she wonders if her dad made everything up. So she decides to go back to the house 25 years later to see if, you know, any of what her dad had written was true or not. Also on the 30th of June, we have I Killed Zoey by Kid Freak, and this is a YA mystery thriller. So we have here Anna that moves to a new place, so she has to start new, in a high school, and when she gets there everybody is still talking about Zoey, a girl that disappeared and they have not been able to find yet. And also Anna looks kind of similar to Zoey, so people, you know, get all of these flashbacks from Zoey, and Anna decides that she's going to figure out what happened to Zoey, the girl that went missing. And when she starts investigating, she realizes that there is something connecting her with Zoey. The last book that I would like to talk to you about is also one that comes out on the 30th of June, and that is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. And this is based on the 1950s in Mexico, which makes it really interesting because this is promised to be kind of like a Victorian Gothic novel. So I am so happy about this. I hope there's gonna be a lot of representation, especially Mexico in the 50s. It's so different. So this is basically a girl that gets a very kind of cryptic letter from her cousin asking for help because she thinks there is a doom that is coming for her, and she decides to go to Mexico to this kind of countryside house to try to help her to see what's going on. And also she lives with her, you know, new husband that is a wealthy Englishman. Interesting to me. This sounds like it's gonna be a mystery thriller, maybe a little bit more based on family matters, but really excited. And these were the 11 books I wanted to talk to you about that are coming out in June 2020. So let me know down below what you thought about them. Are there any other ones that you are really looking forward to? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. And before you leave, please remember, give the video a big thumbs up for support. And if you want to follow me on the social media, all the links are down below. And I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!